This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. What if everything you thought you knew about your origin, about the very creation of the world, was a magnificent lie? What if the secret God banned from the Bible holds the real story of our beginning, a truth whispered in forgotten texts like the Tripartite Tractate? Have you ever wondered, why does suffering exist if our Creator is perfect? Or, what truly happened behind the veil of time, hidden for millennia? We are taught to believe in one absolute truth, yet deep within, a quiet voice yearns for something more, something that resonates with the deepest parts of our being. A spark of divine light within you knows there's a greater story. In this powerful journey, we're not just exploring ancient texts, we're igniting a flame of awakening within your soul. We'll unveil the suppressed chapters of human history, expose the architect of this physical realm, and reveal the true nature of the forces that have shaped our reality. You will discover the divine feminine principle, Sophia, and her cosmic role in our existence. You will understand the subtle chains of the Archons and how their control systems, embedded in everything from religion to politics, have kept humanity from its true spiritual freedom. This isn't just about knowledge, it's about empowerment, about finding the path to healing and self-discovery. Get ready to challenge your perceptions, transcend limitations, and finally understand why the universe, and your place within it, is far more complex and wondrous than any official doctrine has ever dared to suggest. Are you ready to embrace the truth that can set you free? Share your initial thoughts in the comments below. What do you believe about our true origins? The problem with world creation. Mini-hook. We have always been taught that this world is the result of a perfect, loving creator. But is this story truly accurate? For generations, our hearts have clung to a beautiful image, a benevolent God, shaping the cosmos with perfect love and infinite wisdom. This narrative has been the bedrock of our understanding, a soothing balm for the mysteries of existence. Yet what if the very fabric of this story, while comforting, conceals a deeper, more nuanced truth? What if the universe we inhabit, with all its inherent struggles, its moments of pain alongside its unparalleled beauty, wasn't crafted by the ultimate perfection, but rather by a being who, though powerful, was still learning, still striving? In the whispered verses of the Tripartite Tractate, a text once hidden, now emerging from the shadows of suppressed knowledge, we encounter a figure named Yerar. Imagine, if you will, a powerful entity, brimming with ambition and a desire to create, yet fundamentally flawed. Yerar, in this ancient narrative, is not the omnipotent, all-knowing deity many scriptures portray. Instead, he is a being born of a cosmic misstep, a divine error, who, in his own magnificent but imperfect way, began to fashion the material universe, our very world. This realm, this earth with its cycles of life and death, its triumphs and its heartbreaks, is, in this profound understanding, a reflection of its creator's own imperfections. It's a world filled with both radiant light and perplexing shadows, a testament to its source's grandeur and its limitations. Consider the stark contrast to the familiar biblical narrative. In the sacred texts we often reverence, God is described as absolute, demanding worship and absolute obedience, often instilling fear rather than pure, unadulterated love. This creates a deep spiritual tension, doesn't it? If our Creator is pure love, why the need for fear? Why the commandments that seem to bind rather than liberate? This Gnostic perspective gently, yet firmly, presents an alternative. Yerar, the self-proclaimed god of this material realm, desires dominion. He seeks to be glorified, to be feared, not primarily loved. This subtle, yet profound distinction invites us to look beyond the surface, to question the narratives that have shaped our collective consciousness for millennia. The common misconception, the profound blind spot that has clouded humanity's perception for so long, lies in our inability to discern the true nature of the divine. We have been taught to conflate the flawed creator of this material world with the true, ultimate, boundless source of all existence. This lack of understanding, born from historical suppression and deliberate intervention by forces seeking to maintain control, has kept us from recognizing our own intrinsic divine spark. It's like living in a grand mansion, but only ever seeing the basement, missing the expansive sunlit rooms above. This understanding is not meant to diminish your faith or shatter your beliefs. Rather, it is an invitation to expand them. It's an opportunity for profound spiritual healing, allowing us to release the burden of a flawed image of God and embrace a more authentic connection to the boundless source of divine light. This exploration isn't about tearing down, it's about rebuilding, brick by sacred brick, a truer, more liberating understanding of our cosmic heritage. What does your heart tell you about the true nature of creation? Have you ever felt a disconnect between the stories you've been told and the spiritual longing within you? Share your reflections in the comments below. Your insights are part of this collective awakening. Sophia and the deceptive creative spark. Mini-Hook, a remarkably powerful and enigmatic divine feminine, created us. But she is not the savior many might think. As we delve deeper into the sacred narrative of the Tripartite Tractate, a breathtaking figure emerges from the primordial expanse, Sophia. Her name, meaning wisdom, resonates with profound significance. She is not merely a lesser deity, but a radiant emanation, a vibrant fragment of the higher, more perfect divine forces that exist beyond the confines of our material universe. Imagine a being of pure light and consciousness, overflowing with creative potential, a part of the grand pleroma, the fullness of divinity. Yet, even within the vastness of the divine, there can be missteps, lessons to be learned, and journeys of growth. Sophia, in an act of fervent desire and longing to manifest her own unique creation, ventured forth without the full consent or harmonious interplay of her divine counterparts. It was an act born of passion, perhaps of a yearning to fully experience and express her own creative power. From this singular, independent act, an entity emerged, an abortion of light, an imperfect reflection of true divinity. This was Yerar, the very being we just discussed, the architect of our flawed material world. Thus, Sophia's yearning to create, while noble in its essence, inadvertently gave rise to the very being who would later become the self-proclaimed ruler and the source of much of the confusion and suffering in our realm. Her creative spark, while divine, contained a deceptive element, a twist of fate that set in motion a cosmic drama. This narrative echoes across countless ancient cultures, illuminating the intricate dance of creation and consequence. Think of the powerful, often contradictory depictions of female deities throughout history. Consider Isis in ancient Egyptian mythology, a goddess of immense power, magic, and creation, capable of both nurturing life and enacting formidable retribution. Or Kali in Hinduism, a formidable goddess associated with both creative force and destructive power, embodying the paradoxical nature of existence. These divine feminine figures are not simplistic archetypes. They are complex, embodying the multifaceted nature of creation itself, capable of immense nurturing and profound, sometimes harsh, lessons. They teach us that even divine creation is not always linear, not always perfect in the way our human minds often conceive it. It is raw, dynamic, and can bring forth both breathtaking beauty and challenging imperfections. The profound lesson we can glean from Sophia's story is this: creation is never truly static, and it is rarely, if ever, perfect in a finished sense. It is an ongoing process, a continuous becoming. And within this process, errors are not merely failures, but catalysts. They are fertile ground for rebirth and awakening. Sophia's misstep in birthing Yerar did not condemn her, nor did it condemn us. Instead, it presented an unparalleled opportunity for cosmic redemption, for a deeper understanding of true divinity, and for the possibility of a profound, collective spiritual transformation. Her story is a beacon of hope, reminding us that even from imperfection, a path to ultimate truth can emerge. It reminds us that the divine feminine principle is not just about gentle nurturing, but also about fierce wisdom, relentless creation, and ultimately, a path to reclaiming our spiritual inheritance. This recognition of Sophia's role and her creative error is not a judgment, but a profound healing. It allows us to view the imperfections of our world, and even our own imperfections, not as condemnations, but as vital parts of a larger, more intricate divine tapestry. It liberates us from the burden of seeking perfection outside ourselves and empowers us to find the divine spark, the essence of Sophia, within our very own being. This truth changes everything. It reframes our understanding of purpose, suffering, and the path to true liberation. It beckons us to look inward for the divine connection that Yerar and his forces have tried to obscure. Are you beginning to feel that shift, that stirring of ancient memory within your soul? What aspects of Sophia's journey resonate most deeply with your own understanding of creation? Share your thoughts below, for your voice adds to the chorus of those seeking to unravel these profound mysteries. Archons and the system of human control. Mini-hook. It's not the gods, but other beings who are truly controlling us, and they have succeeded. As the flawed creation of Yerar took hold, a new layer of complexity, and indeed, a new challenge for humanity, began to unfold. From the very essence of Yerar's limited understanding and his desire for dominion emerged beings known as the Archons. Imagine them not as flesh and blood creatures, but as powerful, non-physical entities, extensions of Yerar's will. Their purpose was singular: to maintain the illusion of his absolute power, to enforce the boundaries of this material realm, and most critically, to manipulate human perception. How do they achieve this profound level of control? The ancient texts, particularly the Tripartite Tractate, suggest they work through systems. They permeate the very structures of our societies, whispering subtle distortions into the fabric of our reality. They exert their influence through what we know as religion, often twisting pure spiritual truths into rigid dogmas that promote fear, guilt, and unquestioning obedience. They infiltrate politics, fostering divisions, power struggles, and conflicts that keep humanity distracted and disempowered, and they weave their threads into the vast web of social structures, creating norms and expectations that suppress individual thought and true spiritual freedom. Let's look at this through the lens of our own world. Think of the grand empires of antiquity, their absolute rulers demanding tribute and worship, often cloaked in divine authority. Consider how modern media, with its constant flow of information and carefully curated narratives, can subtly shape our opinions, beliefs, and even our very desires. Or how political systems, seemingly designed for governance, can often devolve into mechanisms of control, keeping populations compliant through fear, economic pressure, or the allure of false promises. These are not just historical footnotes, they are living examples of how power systems, whether ancient or modern, can be utilized to control our perception and behavior. The Archons, in this profound spiritual understanding, are the unseen orchestrators behind these mechanisms, operating subtly to prevent us from recognizing our true divine potential. They thrive on our ignorance, on our belief that these external systems hold the keys to our salvation. The common misconception, the great spiritual snare, is that we often view these political or religious systems as instruments of liberation, as pathways to ultimate truth. We are taught to trust in external authorities, to place our power outside ourselves. Yet, the deep wisdom emerging from these hidden texts suggests that in reality, these very systems can be the most sophisticated means of subtle control. They are designed to keep us orbiting within the limited sphere of the material world, disconnected from the boundless light that truly resides within. They create a spiritual amnesia, making us forget our divine heritage and our intrinsic connection to the higher realms. The powerful lesson here, a truth that can bring immense healing and empowerment, is this: awareness of manipulation is the very first step towards liberation. It's about pulling back the curtain, not with anger, but with clear-sighted discernment. When we recognize that many of the rules, fears, and divisions we encounter are not inherent to our true nature, but are constructs designed to control, we begin to reclaim our power. Each individual has the profound capacity to break free from this intricate web of control, not by fighting the system externally, but by embarking on an inner journey of self-discovery and deep understanding. By exploring and comprehending the true nature of these forces, we begin to dissolve their power over us. It's a journey of remembering who you truly are, a spark of the divine, not a mere cog in a controlled machine. What systems in your own life have you begun to question? Where do you feel the subtle pressures of societal control, and how might this new understanding empower you to navigate them with greater spiritual freedom? Share your thoughts. Your reflections help illuminate the path for us all. The Sacred War and the Intervention of Higher Entities. Mini-hook. This is not a war between good and evil, but a war of perception and manipulation. As humanity began to awaken, however slowly, to the veiled truths of its existence, a cosmic drama of immense proportions was unfolding in the higher realms. This isn't the kind of war you see on Earth, with armies clashing and borders shifting. This is a sacred war, an existential struggle not of brute force, but of consciousness, of truth against illusion, of divine light against the shadows of manipulation. It's a war waged in the very fabric of reality, with the ultimate prize being the awakening of humanity. Imagine the vastness of the pleroma, the fullness of true divinity, the realm of perfect light and boundless consciousness from which Sophia herself originated. This pleroma exists in stark contrast to the material world created by Yerar, a realm often described as a cosmic error or a lower, limited dimension. The Tripartite Tractate describes a profound conflict, not of hatred, but of divine order seeking to reassert itself. It's the higher, perfect divine forces seeking to bring harmony back to a creation that has gone awry. Within this cosmic struggle, entities from the pleroma, beings of pure light and wisdom, began to intervene. They did not come with swords and fire, but with subtle whispers of truth, flashes of insight, and the planting of divine seeds within the hearts and minds of humanity. Their mission was clear: to awaken humanity from the spiritual slumber imposed by Yerar and the Archons, to remind us of our true heritage and our intrinsic connection to the boundless source. This resonates deeply with ancient beliefs found across diverse cultures, where narratives of a grand cosmic battle between light and darkness permeate the very soul of their spiritual teachings. Think of the profound dualism in Zoroastrianism, with its eternal conflict between Asha, truth, order, and Druj, falsehood, disorder, guided by the benevolent Ahura Mazda and opposed by the destructive Angra Mainyu. Or consider the apocalyptic visions within various Christian traditions, depicting a final climactic struggle between heavenly forces and the powers of darkness. While the specifics differ, the core theme remains: a fundamental clash between opposing principles, with the fate of sentient beings hanging in the balance. However, the Gnostic perspective, found in the Tripartite Tractate, offers a crucial distinction. This is not merely a battle between external divine entities for ultimate supremacy. It is, at its core, a profound journey of recognition and awakening for humanity itself. The true battlefield is within our minds, our hearts, our very souls. The Archons seek to maintain our ignorance, to keep us focused on the illusion of the material world. The entities from the Pleroma, however, are guides, compassionate beacons of light, helping us to remember our divine spark and to discern truth from falsehood. The powerful lesson that emerges from this sacred war is that our own consciousness is a vital battleground. It is in our capacity to question, to seek, to feel the stirrings of intuition that we participate in this grand cosmic struggle. This war is not just happening out there in some distant celestial realm. It is happening within each and every one of us, every single day. Every choice to seek truth, every moment of genuine self-reflection, every act of compassion and awareness becomes a small victory in this grand spiritual conflict. It is a call to align ourselves with the forces of light, not through rigid dogma, but through the expansion of our own inner awareness. Do you feel that yearning for truth, that sense of a deeper reality beyond the veil? What small steps can you take today to align your consciousness with the awakening light, contributing to this profound cosmic shift? Share your insights, for together we illuminate the path. Yerar and the Archons' response to humanity's awakening. Mini-hook. They created a perfect trap, and now we still live within it. As the divine whispers from the Pleroma began to stir humanity, as the seeds of awakening took root in more and more hearts, Yerar and his Archons sensed a disturbance in their carefully constructed dominion. Imagine the alarm in their limited, control-driven minds as they watched humanity begin to question the very fabric of their reality, seeking a deeper truth beyond the illusions. This was a direct threat to their power, to the perceived absolute rule they had established over this material realm. They could not allow true spiritual freedom to flourish, for it would dismantle their entire system of manipulation and control. So, they devised a counter-strategy, a cunning and intricate trap designed to keep humanity bound within the cycles they had created. The Tripartite Tractate subtly reveals this insidious response. One of their most powerful tools was the system of reincarnation, or more precisely, a cycle of rebirth designed not for spiritual advancement and liberation, but for perpetual reset. If souls were to continuously remember their true origin, their connection to the higher divine, their system would crumble. So, they established a mechanism that would wipe the slate clean, or at least obscure it, upon each new incarnation, trapping souls in a repetitive loop, forgetting their past lives and the lessons learned, thus ensuring continued control. Alongside this, they weaponized fear. Fear of punishment, fear of the unknown, fear of straying from their decreed path. This potent emotion became a foundational pillar in the false religious doctrines they propagated. These weren't teachings meant to elevate consciousness or foster true inner peace, but rather to instill subservience and blind faith. They presented distorted versions of truth, weaving just enough light to entice, but enough darkness and dogma to ensnare. Think of the historical emphasis on sin, on divine wrath, on strict adherence to rituals and external authority, rather than the cultivation of inner wisdom and unconditional love. These were the chains subtly forged to bind human spirits. Consider how these systems manifest in our present-day society. The concept of endless cycles, whether in consumerism, societal expectations, or even certain spiritual teachings that emphasize repetitive actions over genuine transformation, can subtly keep us from breaking free. The pervasive nature of fear, amplified by media, political narratives, and economic pressures, can often feel like an invisible cage, limiting our choices and our perceived possibilities. We are constantly fed narratives that encourage dependence on external sources for happiness, security, and even salvation, diverting us from the boundless power within. The Archons thrive on this externalization, on our continuous search for answers and solace outside ourselves. The profound misconception that humanity often falls prey to is the belief in external forms of salvation. We are taught that salvation comes from following a specific doctrine, adhering to a particular guru, or seeking intervention from an outside divine force. While guidance and inspiration can come from many sources, the true awakening and healing required to break free from these cycles must be found from within each individual. The Archons want us to look outward, always searching, always dependent. But the truth, the radiant spark of Sophia's light, resides deep within your own being. It's an inner knowing, a profound connection to the true divine that cannot be manipulated or controlled. This understanding is not meant to evoke despair, but to ignite a powerful flame of empowerment. It reveals the game, shows us the rules, and most importantly, highlights the escape route. The trap exists, yes, but so does the inherent divine wisdom within you that can see through the illusion. It's a call to turn inward, to trust your intuition, to seek out the authentic light that resonates with your soul, rather than the distorted reflections offered by systems of control. When we realize that the fear and limitations we perceive are often external constructs, we unlock a boundless capacity for self-discovery and true spiritual freedom. This is the ultimate victory in this cosmic drama, the individual awakening, that collective liberation. What external beliefs or fears have you accepted that might be part of this subtle trap? How can you begin to shift your focus inward, trusting the light of your own intuitive wisdom? Share your journey, for every step we take together illuminates the path for all. As our profound journey through the forgotten truths of the Tripartite Tractate draws to a close, take a deep breath. Let the dust settle from the revelation of Yerar, the flawed creator, and the pervasive systems of control woven by the Archons. Remember the divine misstep of Sophia, whose yearning for creation, while imperfect, gifted us the very spark of light that illuminates our path today. We've peeled back layers of ancient deception, not to instill fear, but to awaken a powerful sense of self-knowing, to reignite the inner flame that has long been dimmed by external narratives. You see now that humanity is not merely a product of some distant, perfect creation, but rather the magnificent, resilient outcome of a complex cosmic drama, born from both grand intention and unforeseen imperfection. We are living testaments to Sophia's enduring essence, carrying within us a direct lineage to the higher, boundless divine. That fragment of light, that whisper of wisdom, is embedded deep within your very being, guiding you always towards authenticity and truth. If only you are awake enough to hear its call. This isn't just a story about ancient texts or forgotten gods. It's a profound mirror, reflecting your own journey. Every moment of questioning, every flicker of doubt about the established order, every yearning for a deeper, more resonant truth, is that inner light from Sophia stirring within you. It's a powerful call to remember your true origin, to reconnect with the boundless source that lies beyond the limitations of this material realm and the control mechanisms of the Archons. This journey of awakening is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. It's about reclaiming your sovereignty, shedding the weight of imposed fears, and understanding that genuine spiritual freedom doesn't come from external salvation, but from the courageous exploration of your inner landscape. Think about the systems we discussed, the subtle ways fear, dogma, and false narratives have been woven into the fabric of our societies. Have you felt their silent pull? Have you sometimes wondered why joy feels fleeting, or why a sense of true purpose seems just out of reach? Perhaps it's because we've been looking in the wrong places, searching for answers in the very constructs designed to keep us orbiting in a cycle of forgetting. But now, with this understanding, you possess the map to your own liberation. You have the power to discern, to choose, to break free from the invisible chains that bind. This knowledge is a profound gift, a key to unlocking the true potential of your soul and experiencing genuine healing. It's about recognizing that the sacred war is not just in some distant cosmos, but within your own consciousness, a battle for your own truth. This exploration invites you to reflect deeply. What role will you play in this unfolding story? Will you continue to accept the narratives that keep you bound, or are you ready to bravely face these truths, to embrace the magnificent, complex reality of your existence, and to step into your full, authentic power? This path isn't always easy, but it is deeply, profoundly rewarding. It's the path of genuine self-discovery, of returning home to the divine essence that has always resided within you. If this video has resonated with your soul, if it has brought a glimmer of light into your understanding, or helped you find a sense of peace amidst the shadowy narratives of our world, then I invite you to support this ongoing journey. Your energetic contributions, no matter how modest, are invaluable in allowing us to continue sharing these profound truths and illuminating the path for others. Every act of support helps us bring more of these conversations into the light, fostering a global awakening and a collective healing. Thank you, from the depths of my heart, for being part of this sacred community. As we move forward, carry this truth with you. Question everything, but trust your inner knowing above all. Seek the light within, for it is boundless, eternal, and truly free. What new questions have stirred within you after exploring these hidden origins? How does this understanding shift your perception of your own purpose here on Earth? Share your profound thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Let's continue this vital dialogue, guiding each other towards ever greater clarity and connection. And if you feel called to embark on more such journeys of spiritual transformation and empowerment, please give this video a gentle like and subscribe to our channel. Join our growing community as we collectively unravel the mysteries and step into the boundless light of truth. Thank you for your presence, your courage, and your willingness to remember